I mean, this was such like a formative experience in my life, and it was
Hmm.
really how I identified myself. Like I was not just a Carmel swimmer, but I was a swimmer,
Right.
right? And that was like for me, it was very, very foundational. And so my name's Ryan Zukerman. I'm a third year medical student at the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine. I graduated from Carmel High School in 2013, and I started swimming for the Carmel Swim Club in September of 2001 when I was a first grader at Town Meadow Elementary. And I started swimming with my best friend, Brett. Brett didn't make it very long, and I made it for a really long time.
Hmm.
And I swam. I made my way up through almost every single one of the training groups until I graduated in 2013 as a member of High Performance.
Hmm.
And then I went to Indiana University, where I studied history and graduated in 2017, and then went to medical school.
Wonderful. Hmm.
And I think I started when I was like 4. And swimming, the beautiful thing about it at the time is that I did it because it was really fun.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun in swimming in the summer for Broadmoor. And then when I joined the swim club in 2001, I joined because I had a lot of fun swimming. And the beautiful thing was that that fun never really left. It, like, when I think back about my earliest memories of swimming, it's less of like the specific things that happened and more of the feelings that I had, and enjoying myself was absolutely at the top of those experiences. And like I said, that joy never went away. It definitely like had its ups and downs. Like training is difficult, and it's a lot of hard work, and the values and like the things I was doing as a swimmer were a lot different when I was 18 versus when I was 6. But I never lost the feeling that I really enjoyed what I was doing, and that started when I was 4 at
Hmm.
Broadmoor.
Yeah. That keeping that joy is why you were able to do it so
Yeah,
long.
absolutely, absolutely, and also sharing that joy with other people and my friends, and without a doubt, swimming became it was a social outlet for me, right, as well, because all of my friends were here, and by the time I made it to, interestingly, like in middle school, which is probably when swimming started to become like more real and more like part of my like personality and identity.
Hmm.
We'd drive to practice at like 4 in the morning, 4:40. To my dad would drive me over here, and we live all the way over on the west side. And I went to Creekside Middle School,
Yeah.
and all of my swimming friends lived on the east side, and they like came over here. It was like a 5-minute drive. There were no roundabouts at the time. It took us like a good 20 minutes. And
The pre-roundabout
yeah,
era.
absolutely. And so, but like that's when I started to like really have friends in like a real social group, and then the beautiful, or have friends like related to swimming in a real social group, right? And those friends were different from my school friends. And then when high school started and we were all here, those swimming friends became my social group at Carmel, because we got here at 5. We splashed at 5:15, and we were out at 7:10, and then school started. And like instead of having to drive back to the west side and pick up Einstein's on the way with my dad, I walked up the stairs.
Right.
And then in my classes and at lunch were the same people I had just swam with. And then school ended at 3, and you walk down to the pool and splash at 3:20, and it's the same people. And it doesn't change. My dad used to say, he always was less concerned about how I was swimming. Obviously, he wanted to make sure I was having fun and swimming fast and improving. But I think the most important thing for my dad was that the coaches and the people that I was around were good people, because honestly, I was spending more time with all of them than my parents combined. And and to him, it was like, well, like Chris Plum is raising my son, right? Because I'm spending hours with people like Chris and Ian Murray and Rock King, and those people are just as foundational in my life and in my upbringing as anybody else,
Yeah.
because I spent just as much time with those people.
Wonderful.
But something I think that gets overlooked a lot about the club is the club's motto is like teaching excellence through swimming for life.
You got nailed it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I stopped swimming after high school. Like I had the opportunity to swim in college, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work out and wasn't right for me. But when I went to college and all of a sudden had this major void in my schedule and in my life, like it would have been really easy to fill it with anything but excellence, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the swim club, like that's the motto that's instilled. I didn't know how to do something and not do it well and do it half-assed,
Mm-hmm.
because that was the expectation here every single day. I was thinking about this like 2 days ago. I was back in the pool for the first time in 7 years, and I was warming down, and I just felt horrible, and I must have looked even worse. And I remember a like very distinct moment was from a practice. I couldn't tell you when it was or what the scenario was. We were warming down. The pool was 50 meters long, and I was just totally dragging. And Plum yelled at me, which I tried to not let happen very often.
Yeah.
And Plum yelled at me across the pool. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I had no idea what the problem was.
Yeah.
And I got out of the pool, and Chris said to me, why warm down that way? Like you need to warm down with the same like intensity and excellence that you bring to every other part of the practice, because it's just as important. And that's where like bad habits are going to seep in, and where you're going to let yourself like fall to those.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't tell you why I thought about that just recently after however many years, but like that's the truth of the matter. Like I learned at the swim club how to like really take pride in what I was doing, and the importance of every step of the way, and the importance of the process and enjoying the process. And those are things that are like really relevant to me now. Medical school is really difficult, and it is a long grind, and it's really easy to get burnt out and to lose perspective. And sometimes it makes it a little harder to lose perspective having the background and the training philosophy and the history with the swim club that I have. So.
Your life.
And I mean, swimming for me wasn't easy. I was not the most naturally gifted person. I was not the like the tallest. I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't the fastest, but I sure worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I achieved my goals in the pool because I worked hard, and because I came every day, and because I showed up to practice. I remember there was a practice freshman year. I told Rock this when I graduated, but I missed a practice the first week of high school season freshman year. And Rock, I show up like the next day, and he's like, where were you? I'm like about to call the state trooper on you because you don't miss practice. The truth of the matter was I was in Milwaukee at a Bruce Springsteen concert, which shouldn't surprise anybody. But I mean, like that was the thing. Like I was the guy who, like I said, I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the most gifted in the pool, but I was the guy who was going to be at practice every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And like you'd give your best every day, and sometimes your best is better. Your best is better some days than it is others. But I saw every level and every perspective that the swim club has to offer. When I joined my freshman year of high school, I wasn't on the sectional team. I watched the state meet from the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Sophomore year, I was an alternate on the sectional team. Junior year, I swam in sectional finals and qualified as an alternate for the state meet.
Mm-hmm.
And at senior year, I swam in the state finals. I mean, like I saw the entire progression in a very natural way. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't like I came in and I was just like an all-star from the beginning, but I really worked my way up. And the capstone experience, the one that really sticks with me, is my last swim, when I graduated. My last swim of my career was the men's 800 freestyle relay
Mm-hmm.
at the senior state meet at Purdue. And it was me, Jeremy Ellison, Matt Girth, and Daniel Hassler. And with that swim, I had my name up on the record board because we set a club record in the 800 free relay. I couldn't have even imagined that that would have been within the realm of possibility when I started. And that was just the ultimate payoff and the most gratifying, reflective moment of my entire career. And like it was such a capstone because here I was, this like scrawny little kid who like just I idolized some of these guys. Ian used to tell me, I remember during a goal meeting, seventh grade, eighth grade, that I shouldn't compare myself to other people in the pool. And he was totally right. And it was really difficult to see that at the time because like I said, I spend every single day with all of these people, and some of them like didn't have the best work ethic or loafed off, and yet it seemed so easy for them. And it would have been really easy for me to get frustrated. But I had great like guidance and mentorship, and again, like living the motto of the swim club, that I ended up in the same place as those people because I worked for it.
Yeah.
And it was really, I didn't need that, but it sure was.
It's gratifying.
Yeah, it was really gratifying. I mean, that's how that swim felt too. Like I didn't go to like the Olympic trials with other people, and I never qualified for junior nationals. But it didn't really matter because my goal was to be on the podium with these people, and I was there, and that was enough. It's really difficult in the day, like in the moment, but I would just say not to take any of this for granted. I mean, thinking about all of it now is like very emotional and overwhelming because it was such a touchstone of who I was. And then like I said, like I started school at IU and it was over. I was a swimmer. I was but I didn't swim anymore. And so I had to find a new way to identify myself. And I would just advise, like the advice I would give to people who are currently swimming or thinking of swimming is that like this is who you are, and this is a really big part of your life right now. And not just don't take it for granted, but like really try and live it up and experience it. I mean, what I would give for like one more practice that I could swim the way that I used to, right? And not just the way that I used to, but with the people that I used to and the coaches that I had. I mean, these practices were hard, but they were a lot of fun when I look back on it. And there's no better feeling than swimming fast and having fun with your friends. It's such a, in the moment, it's really easy to get down on yourself and think that like, what am I doing? Why is this worth it? And man, it's worth every single penny. I miss it a lot. I think that I probably have a different perspective than a lot of people because a lot of people go to swim in college, and I think that, and I didn't, and I think that a lot of the thing that, I mean, like the swim club naturally lends itself to swimming in college. Chris once told me that like his job was to get me prepared to swim in school. And he did that 100%. I had the opportunity, but I made the choice actively to stop. And it was really, really difficult. That choice was really hard. I didn't keep swimming. It would have been the easy thing for me to have kept going because that was who I was and what I was doing. And I think my perspective is a little bit different because the choice to stop was my own. And I stopped when I was at my peak. I live with the fact every day that I don't know how good I could have been. And I'm totally at peace with that. It was, for me, it was the right decision and everything. But like my perspective is absolutely colored by the fact that I wasn't waiting for swimming to be over. I know a lot of people who go to school and they're like, man, I can't wait for this to be done. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I would take it back in a heartbeat. So I know that's really tangential, but I guess
it's good.
The advice is just like,
be there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Be present because that's what you're doing right now, and that's going to color your future too.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that immediately come to mind are like the team travel trips. We'd go to Nashville or Louisville and swim at Lakeside. Went to Florida one summer. It was a lot of fun. And I mean, you just, like, you go to swim and to swim fast at these places, but it's not the swims that I remember about these trips. It's the people and the places. And I mean, I refused to miss any of these trips. I took an SAT in Louisville one Saturday because I wasn't missing this trip. I took the team travel bus down. My dad drove down also, as he came to all of the travel meets. Saturday morning, we went and took the SAT. I was back for Saturday finals. I obviously couldn't swim because I hadn't swam Saturday morning, but like I was back because it was on the team, and like I had just taken the SAT. But like it was the most fun ever. There was the year at Lakeside that the weather was so cold. There was the year in Nashville. I think it was the first year we went to Nashville, and Mark Cooney missed his event because he was reading a Star Wars novel in the locker room. Yeah, right. I mean, I have great memories even after my swimming career with these people, right? Like, I went to Jack, Elliot, and Clayton's senior day, or it wasn't senior day, but I went to their last meet against DePaul. I went to Wabash, so it was the DePaul-Wabash rivalry. And Jack missed his 500 or his 200 butterfly or something, his last meet. Hilarious. I mean, sitting in the stands with Mr. Belford, who I've known my entire life, screaming at his son, oh my God, it's just like yesterday that we were like here in the stands, and it's the same exact thing. I mean, these people, I'm the best man in Jack's wedding in July. I mean, these are like the relationships that color every single experience. And it's just it's so rich and so vibrant. I was really lucky that I had all of these experiences and all these memories through the club. I think that Carmel swimming has from an outside reputation, you see the numbers, right? And you see Carmel. And the immediate reaction to people outside is like, oh, you're from Carmel. Great. And also the like there's the expectation that the girls have won, they just won their 34th state championship. And when I was on the boys team, I don't know how many they've won in a row now, but I won three state championships in the time I was there. I mean, like people think that it's just some behemoth, right? And it's really easy to look at that. But the swim club is a lot bigger than that. I mean, the high school team, 10, 15 people swim in the state meet, but the team is 100 people. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just winning. I never felt like I wasn't a part of the team, regardless of where I was swimming. I mean, when we had the first Operation Omaha, and there were people going to Olympic trials, and I was not one of them, and I was here practicing, I wanted to know how every single one of those people were swimming.
Yep.
You know, I wasn't the person who was going to be the first gold medalist or even go win a junior national championship. That wasn't me. But I felt just as connected to the club and to all of those people because my role, quite frankly, was just as important. Whether or not I was in the stands cheering them or on the deck cheering for them or training next to them. I mean, I really felt like what I did mattered. And it didn't just matter to me, it mattered to other people. And so I think that the surprising thing that people might find about the club is that it's really, that's what it is. It's a club. We have 500 swimmers or whatever now, and you read in the newspaper about the 10, right? Yeah. But it's a homegrown institution. I mean, the ways that the club has changed since I started 19 years ago. It's a organic, grassroots, homegrown organization, and it still has those values and that feeling. And I think that that's probably what would surprise people. I think when people look at Carmel, they see this big swimming industrial complex, and it can feel like that, but that's not what it is. At its core, it's it's a community, and it really does a great job of being that community. Anything I can do for this club, I would do in a heartbeat. I mean, when I graduated college or high school, I spent the next, I don't know, 2.5 years coming back and coaching.
Mhm.
I coached at, I coached the summer before I graduated. I coached, and then I coached the summer after I graduated, and then I wanted to be around the kids.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it worth it. I coming to age group state and watching these kids who I helped coach, like it's almost more important and impactful for me that they had success and I could play a little role in it compared to any of the success that I may have had. And that's really what I think it's about. It's about paying it forward for the next generation. Some of the kids who are swimming now, I taught them how to swim. Like one of these girls just won a state championship, and when she was 6 at the Village of West Clay, I taught her how to swim. That's wild to me, but it's so important. I mean, if they can have anywhere near the amount or anywhere near the experience that I had, or anywhere near the amount of value that I got out of this experience, it makes every moment of it worth it. And so it's really important for me to see the club continue to grow and continue to succeed and continue to excel. Because the more that the club grows and continues to succeed, the more people that the club can impact, and the bigger an impact on people's lives it can have. I mean, I know that I haven't been back to the pool in 5 years, 4 years, but it's the same. Like, it's the same place. The gutters may be a different color, and the coaching staff is different, but I mean, like, there's a big part of myself that's in that pool, and it's always going to be there. And so coming back it's really special. Yeah. So, thanks.